today's video I'm going to show you how to make this little coin purse. I have two examples here. One is made in very fine double knitting. It's almost 4-ply or fingering weight yarn, and it's just a little coin purse with a button, just room enough to hide things that you can put in your school bag or into your pocket that you want to keep safely. The other example, which I haven't quite finished because I want to show you the finishing off techniques, is this, which is made with cotton aran yarn and a size 4mm hook. In fact, they're both made with 4mm hook. And I'm going to show you how to sew the button on and finish off the ends later on in the video. Now, I've gone down a hook size in order that I make a really closely crocheted fabric. So if you're storing very small things, they're not going to disappear through any of the holes. So that's our project for today. And I'm using a pink yarn here, pink cotton yarn, which is from lovecrafts.com, an online store you can buy this from, and it's paint box aran cotton. And whilst they usually recommend a 5mm, I'm just simply using a 4mm hook here. Now, our first task is to learn how to do a chain. So for most projects, we start with a slip knot. Wrap the yarn, hold it between your thumb and your first finger. Wrap it round your first two fingers and then tuck a loop underneath that strand. Simply pull the loop, pull the tail, and you have your slip knot. And it's called a slip knot, slips up and down really easily. Insert your hook into the hole. We're going to start off by doing a chain of 13 stitches. I put my middle finger and my thumb just below the hook. I capture the working yarn here over my index finger, like so, and tuck the rest of the work underneath these two fingers, the last two fingers on that hand, to control the tension. So to do our chain, we do with this hand, I'm holding it like a knife, by the way, yarn over, pull through the loop. That's one chain, and you can see it there. Yarn over, 2, yarn over, 3. Just holding that steady with my index finger of my right hand, I'm just going to move my thumb and finger up the chain. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I'm going to use this pink yarn to show you techniques to make the purse. I'm not going to create the whole one, you'll be bored silly. So we're doing the techniques, and the first technique is to create this first row that goes all the way round. So there's no sewing up the sides on this little purse. It's all done in one tube, if you like. This will become clear. So our first task is to go round this chain. We're going to go down here, round the end, and back along there. And that's a technique that's used quite frequently in crochet. So it's a useful one to learn on something small. Now we need to identify the second chain from the hook. So that is this one here where my fingernail is. Insert your hook. I'm going to do 2 double crochet into the same space. 1, 2. Then we're going to do a double crochet into the next 11 stitches. So we will have 13 on the top row. And I'm going into this loop here of the next stitch, just there. So 11 more. 1, so yarn over, pull through 2, insert your yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, that's 2, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 3, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. That's 4, yarn in, yarn over, sorry, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, 5, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, 7, 6, 7, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 8, 9, 10, 11, and we've reached the end. Now in this last stitch here, we've got 1 stitch left. We are going to do 2 double crochet in the same space. This is called increasing. So to increase in crochet, we simply do 2 and sometimes more stitches into the same space. So here we have our top row, and we have an increase at this end and an increase at this end, so that we can keep track. Now we're going to come round the other side, and we need to find the exact space to insert our hook so that we end up with 26 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we're going to come down here 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So I'm just going to finish working my way along this side. It's quite fiddly when you start off. Don't worry about it too much. Take your time on this part, and then it will become much easier as you get used to working with a large hook and quite a tight tension. As I come to the end of the row, I'm going to have a little check on the number of stitches. So let's have a little count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and then 1 increase in this end, 26. So we have finished our first round of 26 stitches. So that is our first round. The easy thing about this is we're just going to simply go round and round without any more increasing. So let's just do another round, and I'll quickly do this and come back to me when I've finished the round. So we can see here that I've completed the second round, just like this, and I've still got 26 stitches, and I'm going to keep working round so that I'm going up the side. It will gradually turn in and create the pocket, just like that on the bottom of your purse. So you're going to do this until you reach row 10. And the way in which I like to mark the end of a row is to take a little bit of scrap yarn and to just place it where your stitch, the final stitch is in the round. Now I prefer it to a stitch marker because it's easy to remove. It doesn't get in the way because this is quite a tiny little piece. Tiny, quick, easy little piece. So I'll mark this round, the end of the round, with a piece of spare thread. Okay, so that's the easiest way to do it. It's just pop it in there so you know which is the last stitch. I'm going to go all the way round again just to show you exactly what you're doing. So you're literally doing a double crochet into each of these stitches, and you'll note that I'm using US terms here. This would be a single crochet in UK terms, but I always use US terms when explaining my crochet patterns. So we keep going round, all the way around, and you don't have to count now because you've actually marked where you're going to stop. Now remember that this is tight because we don't want any holes, so it's a little bit harder on the hands. Don't worry about it, just take your time, you know, maybe put the radio on, put some music on, have the TV on in the background. So I missed that a little bit. We go around the end here, make this nice and tight so that it gradually curls in and goes up the sides. You'll gradually get the feel of it. It creates a nice textured pattern without being too bulky. So we're coming round to our little stitch marker here, and you will obviously continue until you have done your 10 rounds. So there's one round which is on the chain, and then there's just the remaining rounds from 2 to 10 are just 26 stitches. So this is my last stitch just here, and I've just already gone into that. You will find gradually as you work up these rows, you keep moving your stitch marker so that, because single crochet in the round travels a bit. So in other words, you get it slightly slanting. That's just the nature of the way the crochet works. So you don't get confused. You will always end up slightly in advance That will be this is the end stitch, but it looks like you've got to do another one. Don't do that. It's slightly to the right of your stitch marker is your final stitch. So keep going round and round until you get to the depth you want. Now this one is the 10 rounds, as I've said before. Now I'm going to show you how to create a flap, and I'm going to work on this example here. So I'm just going to work this flap across here. Now the way in which you do that is, I know it's going to be a very shallow example, but it doesn't really matter. The principle is the same. We are going to chain 1. Remember how to chain. Yarn over, pull through. We're going to miss the next stitch, which is this one, and we're going to do our double crochet into the next 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Then I turn my work. I chain 1, turn my work. We're going to miss this first stitch here, and we're going to chain, we're going to double crochet this time 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Turn our work again. Now we're going to chain 1, simply chain 11, double crochet 11 again. I'm just going into that top section 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just into here. Turn your work and another chain 1 and 11. So we're coming down here on this example, just here. We'll do another 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Make sure you capture both strands. Then we'll chain 1, turn our work. Now we're going to start to decrease. So this is a good exercise because it shows you how to increase and shows you how to decrease. So we're going to double crochet 2 together. We go into this stitch here, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we, instead of finishing that off, we go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we just pull our yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1, 2. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to have a look at this and we're going to miss the next 3 stitches here, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1, 2, and then we're going to decrease here. So this one and this one we're going to do together. Yarn, hook in, yarn over, pull up, hook in. Oh, it's quite tight. Just wiggle into here. There we go. Yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, turn, chain 1, and we have this little loop here. We need to make it nicer than that, so we're making this loop just here. So we are on our final row. Very simply, to finish off, we're going to do 3 double crochet. Now we've got 3 double crochet here, 3 chain, 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Now you're going to go into this first triangle space, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet into this space here. 1, 2, 3. And that just finishes that off really nicely. And then we've got 3 double crochet to finish off. And I want to go into this space just here, 1 and then 2, and then into the last stitch just here. You're going to have to wiggle your hook in. And when you come to the last one, I would prefer it if you did a slip stitch. The pattern says do a double crochet, but I think a slip stitch looks better. You're going to then cut off your yarn. Leave a nice long tail for weaving in, and then pull it through. Just use your nails to just gently ease that in, And there you have the top of our teeny tiny little purse. So that's our example. My goodness, if I'd done another row, I could keep a lipstick in there, or a lip gloss or something like that. So let's go back to our big example to show you what this looks like. So here we go. We came up each of our rows to row 10, and then we followed this second step really, which allowed us to create our little loop. Now when we want to finish off, we've got to weave in our ends. So I've just put a tapestry needle onto my tail here, and I'm going to just weave in the ends. The first thing I do is to get rid of this bump here by coming underneath the inside stitches. Just a few of them. I use a pointed needle because it goes between the strands of cotton, and that just means it's a little firmer. So I've pulled this down. Now I just want to go over a stitch and come along a row on the inside where it will hardly show. I'm going to go through a few more stitches. I'm doing this left-handed. I am normally right-handed. Make sure that you can actually see what I'm doing on the video. There we go. I use my right hand this time. I'm just going to weave through a few more stitches going down to make sure that it doesn't come loose either in the wash or if you're using it quite frequently. Okay, now I'm going to grab my scissors. I actually use nail scissors because they're slightly curved, and then you're not in any danger of cutting your work. If you use the end of a sharp pair of scissors, I can tell you, you can cut your work and then you're really cross. Now the last thing we have to do is we have to sew in our end here, and this is where you can tighten up any hole. So thread your needle. I seem to have one with a very, very small eye here. Let's pull it through, and we're just going to finish off by weaving our end in and just closing up this hole. So go across to the other side, around the stitches, just pull it tightly and then weave the end back along this way. You need quite strong fingers for this, and then we're going to go back in the other direction under a few stitches, pull it through simply like that, adjust the tension, trim off the excess like so, turn it back the other way. The last thing we can do is to stitch on our button. You can see I've stitched one on this one, handmade with love. Exactly. I shall give this to a little friend who needs a little bit of love. So let's put another button on. Now use quite a decent sized button. You don't want this slipping open. So you use a good sized button and just set the button a little bit further down so that it's got some tension between the loop and the button. So maybe just about here. I've threaded, actually I've divided my yarn so it's a bit thinner because cotton yarn is made of strands. Place your button where you want it, insert your needle, leave a little bit. We don't use knots in crochet at this point, but I'm going to break the rule I am going to use a knot for this. So we're going to leave a tail, and I'm going to go in and out through the hole about 3 or 4 times. Crochet cotton is amazingly strong, but even so, go in 3 or 4 times so that you know that it's fixed. Just up and down like this. Literally up and down. And down. That's the last time. Slip it off the needle here. Go onto the inside and break the crochet rule. Tie your ends together like so, so that it's knotted once and again. Sorry, this is a bit tricky to show. Then instead of trimming this off where it's really close, I would weave in these ends again. Now, if you've got a very little amount of thread, here's a trick. Take your needle, place it near your knot. This is without the thread in it, and just work it through as if you had the thread on the end. Find the eye and then thread the needle with your strands. I'm wondering whether this will actually go through in one fell swoop. Possibly not. I'll do it in 2 sections. So I'll do the finer section first. There we go. Push it through the eye, like so. You can see how it's coming apart. Pull that one through, and then do the other bits, and then trim it off with your little pair of scissors. I'm going to do the other one in a similar fashion. I'll just tuck this away for now. And there we have our completed coin purse to hide away in your bigger purse or handbag, backpack, or whatever. You could even put a keychain on here. You can buy them online and attach it. Keep your keys together with a couple of coins inside. Makes a nice sweet gift or something to sell at a craft fair or a school fair. And there we go. Thanks so much for watching. We've done some techniques here. We've learned to chain. We've learned how to increase and to crochet in the round without any stitching up the sides. We've learned how to decrease and turn our work, and how to make a small loop just here, sew on the button, and to weave in our threads. So please subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.